jog. It's getting dark there. Just made it out of the woods before it got too dark. By a matter of minutes. So I want to clarify something that I began to talk about on those last two clips, the first of the two. I mentioned Rupert Sheldrake. It's kind of funny because I went blank and I started talking about crystals. And that's why I uploaded a couple pages from Morphic Resonance about an hour or a couple minutes after I uploaded that one because I'd caught the error. I don't like to edit things. You know, this is a short project I'm doing. It may be over in about by the end of the month. And I don't like to remove errors because this whole thing I'm doing inside a car is error prone to the point where I can only control so much. I mean, first of all, I'm driving a car and I'm using a portion of my awareness in my brain, and then I'm also trying to talk about esoteric subject matter without notes, you know, based on reading about 100 books or so in the past 3 years, and many essays and articles, things like that. But what I meant to say was the polymorphic nature of crystals and how you can be trying to make a crystal or something in a lab and you get 10 different results. You know, like there's not a definite way to produce the same thing every single time. That's a good way to look at an example of something that's living in this dimension, in another dimension, which we all are, but in an observable way. Of course, you know, angelic entities are going to leave little keys all around. You know, one of the biggest misunderstandings is the difference between nonlinear time and time. Like our whole story here, the whole planet's story is a blink of an eye. And the only reason I even bring up slightly scary subject matter is because this is what spirit workers have to do right now. They have to be talking about the problem of evil. And whatever's about to happen, there's a major spiritual event about to happen. Could this be a planetary disaster? It may be. I don't think it is. Because I have outlined a method that would avoid planetary destruction by rebuilding the consciousness grid. But even if there is some sort of major flood or disaster about to happen, you still need to make the attempt to show proof of the soul. It's all about how if it's done the right way. Because the more people that see the Maya and see that this is a game, it's a serious game. The reason why we're living in this biological soul container is to perfect the logos, you know, where we're adding as much as we can to the main mind to then be able to reincarnate in a, you know, maybe a more advanced planet. You know, I'm hoping that I'll be done with this planet as much as I love it, and maybe get a chance to become some kind of entity that can repopulate itself. You know, I'm not into listening to insider stuff, but I do like Tim the Tactical Guy. You guys know who this guy was? I watched something with him and Linda Moulton Hall. It was Truth Seeker Season 2 on Gaia, and he talks about how there's some sort of... he seems legit. He almost seems like he's partially artificial intelligence, but... no, I'm just joking about that. I shouldn't joke around about AI. AI is pure evil. But he talks about an entity that's like sort of like a reptilian sort of entity that when it's time for it to die, it handles that itself. It reincarnates itself through an egg. That's exciting. You know, so regardless of what's happening right now, I've talked about ways where you can start to see the super sensible realm and contact, you your guides. I mean, there's hours of me talking about this, and it's coded. There's lots of repetition, just like Steiner, who's a teacher. I consider him a teacher. He's repetitious, but there's slight changes in what he says. You're supposed to catch on to it. It's very mantra-esque. Esoteric studies are very mantra-esque. There's a lot of recovering the same ground so that it gets stuck in your way of life. But sorry, I'm going down. Whoa! Look! Uh-oh, spirit animals. I don't know if you can see that. Two deer right there. I sensed something. See how I stopped? I sensed something, and I looked over, and there was two spirit animals right there just chilling. So, I've mentioned before about how to clear your mind up so you can start sensing ley lines, telluric currents. You can sense your own hotspot. So if you're waking up in the morning, like I was saying in that last video, and something's not making sense, you're breathing in and out, you're eating food 3 times a day, you're existing, something's just not seeming right, well, you're probably being called to help people. And there's something, the first thing you can do here is, if you're at a point where you just want answers, you want answers about the universe, go to a certain location. It could be outdoors, it could be indoors, it could be a spot where you feel peaceful. Get down on your knees, okay? Not in a subservient, monotheistic way. You get down on your knees and say, I want this problem of evil to end. Guides, help me see. Help me see. Start my synchronicities. Start phenomena. I can handle it. That's if you can. If you want to begin as a student, and you're asking yourself, you're asking your guides, you're asking the people, the entities that live without bodies in another dimension, place where you came from, to assist you. And then you immediately go down and in the morning you donate some stuff to charity. Maybe go down and sign up to help out at the soup kitchen or something. If you feel strange being in bad areas of town, you can go down to a elderly care place, ask to go into the memory unit and see if you can help out with activities. And of course, hospice. Do this. I always say 3 good deeds right after. This is after you get down on your knees and you ask your guides to begin your lesson. But you want to be compliant and you don't want to mess up. Say you're ready to give up materialism and see what real contact is and see what your duty is in this ascension process. Ask them to show you proof. If you can handle a phenomenon, ask to see a phenomenon inside your house or by yourself in a certain location. Say, can you show me something? Not for entertainment, just so I can see how instantaneous my connection to the cosmos is. And whether it's through synchronicities or an actual phenomenon, you'll start to notice that coincidences don't exist. Things will start to happen on a regular basis, and you don't cuss, you don't. I said the F word in the last video. You can do it like a PG-13 movie if it's absolutely necessary. You can do it like once or twice. Betty Shine said the same thing. Big fan of Betty Shine. And then you look for the signs. Okay, you have to get down and be ready to change your life, and you'll start. So the point of what I'm trying to say is you'll start to see real phenomenon. If you're ready for it, you want to take action, you want to help this planet, and you'll notice it'll be nothing like what you see on your sci-fi media disclosure or whatever. Okay, it will be non-theatrical and beautiful, and see-through and transparent. Everything you see will be transparent and see-through. Any phenomenon.